Wow, I forgot about that charming John Williams music. For the Harry Movie Club, this is Home Alone 2. To be honest, I kind of wish we had just covered the first movie, because we just did Die Hard, or you guys just did Die Hard last week, and that and Home Alone are just so eerily similar, aren't they? A resourceful, somewhat badly adjusted guy is left alone on Christmas Eve when a group of otherwise successful career criminals enact an overly elaborate plan for a robbery. The only thing they weren't counting on is this one-man wrecking crew who, almost single-handedly and against all odds, completely whoops their asses. Technically, this one has the same plot too, since sequel. Die Hard 2 had the same Xerox plot as the first Die Hard, so maybe we can compare that to this one after all. That one did involve planes. So to everyone's surprise, the first Home Alone movie was such an implausible success that they got everyone back together to do it all again a couple years later in a new locale and a slightly bigger budget. Beyond that, it's pretty much a scene-by-scene retread of the first film down to the last detail. I decided I don't like when movies do that anymore. I mean, we liked these jokes and these scenes the first time because they were new and interesting. You just do them again, they're not new or interesting anymore. So as such, any lessons or character arcs learned in the first film have to be rolled back so we can do the same dance again. It might have been interesting to examine more like how the characters react differently to the same situations, which I guess there's a little of that, but it's a lot of, like, with, you know, the family waking up the next morning, making sure everyone's accounted for. It's a lot of, we tried to do it better, but the same thing happened anyway. And anyways, you gotta up the ante in a sequel, even a sequel to a kid's movie. It's one thing to strand Kevin at home, I mean, that's easy. That happens in the real world. But to send him off to a whole other city, that takes a far more elaborate set of movie magic coincidences. And besides being a retread of the first Home Alone, this movie also serves as an extended commercial for the Tiger Electronics Talk Boy, which is basically Kevin's magic wand in this movie. It can reserve hotels and fight bad guys. I'm guessing Kevin got it for his birthday like the previous month because he's way too obsessed with that thing to have had it a whole year. You know how kids are, they outgrow things. Can't have it without batteries for 5 whole minutes. Watching it this time, I did notice a few actors that I hadn't caught before. Kevin's taller, red-headed brother, not Buzz, the other guy, is Big Pete from Adventures of Pete and Pete. The lady at the airport is Ally Sheedy. I didn't recognize her until she kind of hung her face a certain way, like, oh, it's Ally Sheedy. And then, of course, there's a Donald Trump cameo when Kevin goes in the hotel. He's less wrinkly, of course, but still that same weird hair. Even back when I saw this movie the first time, I was 9, I noticed this. In the first movie, Kevin tells us that he's 8 years old. Now, this is a year later. We're told over and over again it's been 1 year. And now Kevin is 10 years old. Because it's been 2 years for the rest of us out here in the real world. And because this is a movie, Kevin can't fight some other random pair of criminal dumbasses. It has to be the same guys. What is it, like 2 feet height difference between Pesci and Stern? Now, about the only cast members that didn't make it back are John Candy and the old man. Apparently Candy was going to appear, but it didn't work out. Now, the old man has been replaced by the scary pigeon lady, played by Brenda Fricker. He pretty much goes to the same character arc with her. No urban legends surrounding this lady, just what I consider a healthy skepticism of strangers that makes Kevin run away when he sees her. Here's what I don't get. Kevin gets to stay in a 5-star suite by himself while his extended family is crammed into some podunk seaside motel in the rain. I mean, what are they doing there? Go to Universal, go to Disney World, give the little brat something to be jealous about. I think this movie was the first time I saw Tim Curry, who is our secondary bad guy. He's basically there to complicate the plot just enough so that Kevin can't go straight to the police when he realizes the bad guys are in town. And also to be Tim Curry, because couldn't every movie use a little extra Tim Curry? And of course, because it was so popular the first time, we can't leave Kevin without a house to booby trap. So the movie gods grant him the Rolls Royce. His uncle lives in New York, but him and his family are out of town, and they're renovating the house. And it's inside out, so any damage he does to the place doesn't mean anything. It's a perfect playground. So we get to the main action set piece. There's the booby traps that make up like the last third of the movie or something. And think about that. That's where most of the money goes, right? You need like stuntmen and, you know, safety harnesses and, you know, airbags and stuff and rehearsals. Now we all know the traps in the first movie would have put these guys in the hospital a couple times over. So in this movie they have upped the ante. So now these traps really look deadly. And even as a kid, I knew that these traps would have killed them, each and every one. I mean, imagine how Kevin might have reacted if Marv's brains had splattered all over the sidewalk after that third brick. But of course, this is a kid's movie, so these guys are invulnerable. Hey, Marv, remember what happened last time? No. Yeah, no shit. He took 3 bricks in a cement bag to the face. He's lucky he remembers his own name. I've heard tales of burglars successfully suing people that they rob if they happen to hurt themselves during a robbery. I wonder if Marv and Harry could just sue the McAllisters for everything that happened to them. To be honest, to no one's surprise, a movie like this isn't really as fun as an adult. I mean, I get caught up in the occasionally awkward acting and the contrived plot. And in fact, it's a big wish fulfillment thing where Kevin acts like a little shit and is rewarded with everything he ever wanted. This occurred to me though. I'm going to see most of my family this Christmas, so I'm going to ask them, like, it's got to be more fun watching a kid's movie with your kids, right? Because you can, like, feed off their energy. I imagine that's true. I don't know. This hit me. If they made a third movie right after this one, they could have just made Cousin Fuller the hero of that one. And just threw up in my mouth a little. So thanks for watching the Harry Movie Club, and we'll see you next time.